And let's begin with some politics. Now, aggrieved supporters of Masawudu Mubarak, the disqualified parliamentary aspirant in the Asawase constituency, have this afternoon been burning car tires near the Ashanti Regional National Democratic Congress office in protest of the disqualification. Smoke from the fires, however, engulfed the nearby party office. And the Functional Executive Committee of the party, in a statement last Tuesday, disqualified Masawudu Mubarak, clearing the path for incumbent Asawase MP Muntaka Mohammed ahead of the election 2020. The disqualification follows the recommendation of the party's Committee for Settlement of Outstanding Dispute over the selection of NDC parliamentary candidates for the next elections. But the supporters said the protest will continue until the disqualification is reversed. Take a look. Aggrieved members of the NDC in the Ashanti region there. Let's get on the phone lines now and speak to party executive. Kwame Zu is the regional secretary for the NDC there. Mr. Zu, thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
You've seen what is happening in your constituency.
Yes, I have seen it.
What's the party's
response? First
response?
of all, may I use your platform to apologize to the rank and file of our party, even beyond the Ashanti region, for the incessant developments that have gone on over a few days in the Asawase constituency. And again, use opportunity to appeal to the youth in question and the party persons who have one grievance or the other to adhere strictly to the internal mechanisms of the party for conflict resolution. If for any reason you are displeased with the decision of the party, you do not take the laws into your own hands. Use the internal mechanisms of the party to address the issues. And that is the only way we can continue to be a democratic party. So I continue to plead with them that the model so far adopted is not the right way to go. They should make their grievance, they should express it in a form that can readily be traced and possibly be addressed. That is the only thing I have to say.
Well, Mr. Zu, looking at what is happening, a lot of people are not necessarily surprised because even before this verdict, there were concerns. Right after it, there were concerns. Was the party minded to reach out to these young people or to the followers of Mr. Mubarak, first of all, to avoid what we're seeing today?
Mr. Mubarak Masawudu himself is fully aware as to the reasons for which he was disqualified from the contest, and same has been duly communicated to him. Immediately the report of the committee was communicated to PEC and subsequently to the region. So we expected that he would be in the position to speak to his followers, if indeed they are his followers. Nonetheless, we would engage him and see better ways of running the situation so that we can assuage the tension and move the party forward peacefully.
That you're seeing in the videos that we're playing, are they known to the party?
Which of them? You said who is known?
Well, sorry?
You said who is known?
These people we see who are locking up offices and burning the tires and agitating, are they known to you and to the party?
And that is difficult to determine, particularly when there has been various videos in circulation. I'm unable to establish the identities of the persons, if indeed they are party members or not. But what matters at this very moment is that as a party, we must be mindful that we are practicing democracy, which is largely governed by laws, and therefore when you are aggrieved, you should use the internal mechanisms of the party to take redress. Do not resort to violence. It has never been the best way, and that in itself cannot bring any lasting closure to the issues you so have.
Yesterday, I did engage your National General Secretary, Johnson Asiedu here on the show, and I asked him about this. He indicated that once a court made a declaration on it, there's nothing the party can do. Can you explain to us what this court ruling was?
I think the grievance process of the party had been exhausted because he petitioned the Functional Executive Committee of the party, specifically through the General Secretary, and same was referred to the Right Honorable Duajaho Committee for Conflict Resolutions. They have invited all the relevant stakeholders to listen to us carefully. A report was written and submitted to the Functional Executive Committee. I think that process in itself is slightly exhaustive. Nonetheless, if you have any grievance, you still can re-petition. It's allowed. You could always re-petition. That is the only way democracy can stand. We are in a dispensation that does not promote the use of brutish force or the use of the adoption of demonstrations of this nature, burning of car tires and the rest. I don't know what that will yield eventually to. We will continue to appeal that in as much as the candidature or the possibility of Mubarak Masawudu to contest has been exhaustive, for some explanation we can offer. That is why ideally they could have petitioned. Then maybe snippets of the reasons for which he has been disqualified will be made known to them. Probably that would have assuaged the tension or the intensity of their anger. But in the specific case of disqualification or otherwise, that matter has been exhaustively determined by the committee.
And so as it stands now, nothing is going to change. The decision that has been taken previously will not
nothing will change. A very reason why I have insisted that the modules they have adopted will not inure eventually to the benefit of the party. Indeed, if they are members of the party who are committed to the ultimate objective of the party, then the modules is wrong. Because a specific matter in question as to the qualification or otherwise of Mubarak Masawudu, that has been exhaustively determined. On other issues, as to explanations to be offered, among other things, we can engage each other. And I feel that is the only way to go. So we'll continue to appeal to them that they should calm down. We can always engage one another.
Always engage one another. Are you looking to bring in the police in this, finally?
I have personally placed a call initially to the police. And I am setting the police as the party office with the information I have had to maintain law and order. What matters at the moment is that I would also speak to Mr. Mubarak so that possibly we can have an engagement and find a way possibly to leave this issue in the bud and permanently so.
Mr. Zhu, thank you very much for your time this afternoon here on the show. Kwame Zhu is the Ashanti Regional Secretary for the opposition NDC there. Well, yesterday, like I indicated, I interviewed here on the show General Secretary of the party, Johnson Asiedu, and this question came up. Listen.
Tripoli has peculiar circumstances. It's a war-torn zone and so on. So it was not, we know, an ideal situation for us to just join it with the other constituents. We dealt with Asawase. There were petitions from a contestant, I think it's called Masawudu or something, and those petitions were passed through due process, and the outcome came, so he's been disqualified. Yes. So once there is a court verdict, there are many people are free to hold different opinions, but that does not change the verdict.
That does not change the verdict. You heard him. Kwame Zhu also said the same thing. Nothing is going to change, but they will engage to make sure that peace prevails. Johnson Asiedu earlier was referring to Tripoli, which he says was a conflict-torn zone, and he was answering a question as to when they're going to conduct the elections in the rest, the primaries in the rest of the constituencies, which were not included.